Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield. I am a professional dancer, professional dance choreographer, and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States. And I have a new angle for you today. That is because with many hours of trying to troubleshoot this, I've figured out a way to get my VPN calibrated to be able to get access to the excerpts of Street Dance Girl Fighter on the Tunes YouTube. Now, something that comes with that is I'm not able to get my phone to be supported on my streaming software where I do record my reaction in real time to the video. It's just not working, so that's why you're gonna have to deal with my HD computer camera. So I apologize for the camera quality. We're going to take a look at some of the first episode auditions, and I'll kind of give my thoughts on who I think which team would choose them. I'm also still debating on whether or not I'm going to be reacting to the full episode. I feel that if there's going to be a lot of updated criteria compared to the first season, I may invest time to do that, but I am actively reacting to multiple series right now, so I don't know if it's the healthiest choice for me to do that, but we will see. Without further ado, let's go ahead and check out the groups. All right, YAMADA, RIA. Lazarus, this track.
Boy, I have to bet the grave, good morning. Have been sleeping for too long, honey on it. Everybody talking, trying to see me. Disbelief like hey, breathing, he was 6 feet deep. Oh, what you say? Hold up, shut your mouth. Dead man can't holler what you talking about. Cause what you through that door, it ain't no walking now. Let me take you back in time to my coffin now. Oh, I know you smell it in the air. Cause I've been in the grave for too long, I swear. People crying, I'm missing. Oh, bitch, where it been written? My face pale, they can't tell your boy back be risen.
Okay. So, really liked her movement quality in this a lot. Now, I do know this is a different element. We have individuals auditioning from around the world, not just crews. So I have been hearing on some forums that there's a chance that the groups that were made were a mix of broken up crews and individuals. So for me, I do have it. That's a very interesting thing that I really want to have a discussion on with everybody. If I am hearing the right information, because there are pros and cons to that. And I know a lot of people are saying it makes sense why the quality of the masked performance challenge lowered a little bit. And because I had just reacted to the masked challenge of the first season, I can understand what people are talking about. And so please, if you've already seen the episode and you want to contribute something to help bring more clarity to me on what a new rule was introduced at the end of this episode, I don't quite know what that is, please let me know. But let's just start with her. A couple notes. I really love her movement quality. Like I've said, I would see off the bat, a technique that she's very, very good at is vibrations. Vibrations, we notice some ticking from her. So I really feel like that realm, or people who are very fluent in understanding how to utilize those types of techniques, are going to be really good for her. Kind of walking through here, how she starts it up. I want you to notice something though. Notice she never left that circle. She never traveled really anywhere. So that would be a note that I would think can be an area of improvement for her audition. Now, I also don't know, did she freestyle this? I don't know. It's still, whether it's choreography or freestyle, both are very impressive. But it doesn't discredit the fact that even freestyle, some toolkits overlap. One of those things is usage of your staging. I do feel like some staging could have been really helpful. I don't really think she went to the ground that much either. I love this like really utilization of her vibrations a lot there, but it was a little bit different than whenever she went all the way across, how she hit it. I love the usage of her fingers, trying to have more of a spider finger. We've kind of seen that a lot, especially in individuals who, I noticed it more in Street Dance China. There's a couple of people who are utilizing this type of technique in some of their freestyles, so I'm saturated in that going into this. Seeing this here after she does her vibration, how she sets it up. Love this. She's doing more of a, not, I wouldn't equate it, yeah, probably dime stops, more strobing, I think. So strobing is the transition of dime stops, and seeing this here, it is nice how she sets it up. I would say it does need to be a little bit more refined and clear on how she's wanting to integrate it with the sound. That right there, very full in how she executes it. So honestly, technique there, Phenom. Love it. And then moving on from there, you see her drop down. She's exploring more of the midline, still pursuing this type of finger and position. I really like how she's integrating it in the music. So she does a good job with her head, transitioning over slightly over to the side with some footwork. But she doesn't really do much lower. I don't think she gets any lower than this midline right here. So what I mean by midline is the middle. So there's multiple areas that you would rank for levels. So one of them would be the floor, kneeling, more like a lunge, standing, and airtime. So you have about those 5. She's kind of hitting about the standing and kneeling, but not quite the floor, and she hasn't quite jumped either. But so far she's explored a couple of ranges, which I think is totally fine. She's using her head, but notice she's hitting that. She's hitting it in a very similar way in the technique being used, but just used it a different way. So that would be another note, is taking her technique and figuring out different ways to justify the timbre of the sound that she's trying to hit, because we hear it, we see it, it's awesome. But also remember, these are teenagers. I come from a place though, however, that regardless if you are a teenager or an adult or a child, everybody can be objectively viewed at. Just like people who are children are going to be more sponge oriented, meaning that they are going to be more like sponges than adults. But adults have, a lot of times, they have the natural more discipline and more time to refine their crafts. Teenagers, they're like in the middle, going through puberty. Some of they're not able to learn information quite the same way as whenever they were younger. That's just that's a cognitive thing of the brain. That's a science thing. But anyway, here, I'm assuming all these girls are teenagers because of the age range in which they did the audition. What's interesting about this is I really like what she does. Do I think she'll fit in with a particular crew? I don't know. Maybe she will fit in with No Lip, potentially, because No Lip can really, I think they can handle those types of techniques. So there's synchronicity there. So I think that could work well with whoever No Lip went to team-wise. But for her, we do see her, she does drop to the ground. I do like that. She does more like a W and popping. So I would say popping is one of her disciplines that she does. And notice she really hits with the head, engages and pops using the head to go from side to side. So her main techniques that we've seen so far are vibrations, heads, usage of the ticking, strobing with her fingers, spider fingers, and then we've also seen more vibration, usage of the chest, as well as her full body, probably uses of the legs. She does a W that's more in popping, like in puppeting. Very good chance this is probably freestyle, because how she sets up her fingerprints do tend to overlap. So this can help her if she has to fight for her place on a team, like what season 1 was having. That could really help her in her freestyle context, but it can showcase very big limitations if they play a track that is similar in nature to this, and we see her only dive in this style. I'm just curious about her range of styles. That would be my only thing seeing here. The wave right there was really cool, but it didn't quite go anywhere after she integrated it into her shoulder, but that's because whenever you overly tense to create this type of intensity, creating a wave is really tricky to take it anywhere whenever when even how you integrated the wave and you wanted to dive into another technique or another sound, it's a little bit tricky to continue it, especially if there's no sound to justify it. So I love that turn. That was really nice diving in. Notice that's kind of her go-to, is that W shape, like what you would see in popping puppeting, which I really like. That right there, boom, doo 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 doo. So she's tensing, creating more of on the sides. She does a really good job of reinstating more of this animated perspective. I would say animation is more of the style that she would be considered under over popping, but there is some overlap, obviously, because of the subgenres that animation brings techniques. Waving through, she's a little bit more of like that, she reminds me of Kita, a little bit. Kita the Great, with that little posture and pocket right there. So I definitely see the virality of her technique being presented here. I really hope she's on the show, personally, because I think it's really cool. Nice little footwork there, that build up there. Jumps through, melts down, but also notice how she chose to explode down a little bit. And how she finished. She still added a couple little extra sticky dime stop ways of dropping. There wasn't really any sound for, but it helped match the posture she decided to distinguish all the way across. Now, for who I think she would be good for, one choice I would say Hook, I think, would be able to find interesting ways to use her. Because they're known for that. I would say Bebe, of course, as well. 1 million, I think, could definitely refine her in some of those wheelhouses that she has. Honestly, I think 1 mil may be a really good choice to advocate for her. So that would be who my choice is. I'm going to make these little notes here of what I say here, because I already talked about, I think the only other one I've looked at was No Lip. So for YAMADA RIA, her name sounds Japanese. Y'all let me know if I am close. But I'm very excited to see individuals on here, because it is going to showcase a different type of aesthetic, because each country has different disciplines that kind of take the forefront, and it's really nice to see this here. So I did say for her, I would say honestly 1 mil may be a really good option for her. But if you want to talk about ideas or expanding on her vocabulary in a conceptual way, I think Hook could provide some good insight to that, as well as Bebe. So, but we will see. This is some good stuff, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, I'm sorry for the slightly decrease of video quality for these types of videos. This is going to be the route that I have to take if they continue to really only sanction the routines or excerpts to Korea exclusively. I'll have to do this route compared to what I'm used to, but I think that's okay at the end of the day. I'm just very thankful I'm able to do it. If you want to see more content like this, especially the first season, I have the full episode reactions. I have those on Patreon, as well as I'll be releasing excerpts of those onto YouTube, normally a day after I see the second season's equivalents of that part of the show. I'm very much looking forward to, like I said, just with the crews that we've seen and the crews that we will be seeing, what the dynamic shifts are going to look like, what the challenges are going to be, and the influence of the mentors on these individuals. I am expecting to see a lot of growth and a lot of just fun artistry along the way. I'm Jess, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye!